Okay, next is from Juan Metza, and the subject is MJF Revolution. Hey guys, how's it going? Disco, I'm sorry for my last email that my fat fingers decided it wanted to screw up. So Twitter's been going crazy lately over MJF throwing whatever was in the cup at a kid at AW Revolution. Being there live, a lot of us were enjoying it, even wish we were in that kid's place. My question is back to the WCW days, how would fans react if you guys had tossed something or water at them? To me, it seems like a lot of sensitive people watch wrestling and what anything go complain, but I will say this, MJF knows how to work and work the crowd. Thanks again, guys. Have a great week.
You guys go see this?
I saw it. I think everybody already saw it.
What
Do you
is
want
it?
to show it?
Wait. Maybe I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. But go ahead.
Okay.
Just it's
if you
quick.
want to show it, go ahead and show it.
It's quick.
Okay. Now, what MJF doesn't understand here, and that's because AEW kind of runs a sloppy shop, like letting guys bleed all over the place, bleed in the crowd, which is ridiculous. Bro, you can't do that. You can't throw a drink on a fan. But MJF needs to understand, like, it looks like no big deal. And it really is no big deal. But they could legitimately go through the process of the lady going to the police, pressing charges, and MJF would be arrested and would have to, they'd probably just release him, but he could be arrested for that. Absolutely. That is, you can't do that. And like what these guys got to understand is there's a lot of certain things, even though they don't look like a big deal, you just can't do that. I guess Tony Khan had words with them or something, but it's that's all on him.
Well, they took him backstage. They took the kid backstage. They had him meet Hobbs, and yeah.
Oh, you have to because you did something. They know they screwed up.
I think they're bringing him to Dynamite. They're bringing him to Dynamite too.
The family into not suing. Mm-hmm. We'll bring you to the show, free tickets. You can't do that. You can't. Well, think about that.
And the thing is,
drink on a fan. Like Jesus.
I read it might have been tequila too, which changes things a little bit. That makes it a little more serious than if it was tequila instead of water. But
it's not that. It's not serious.
It's not serious.
It's not serious. It's very minor, but it is something that you can't do. You just cannot do that. They could press charges, and you can get arrested for that. Absolutely. So if they went by the book. They would have to do that. Say, hey, we'll place you under arrest for assault, and he might have to, they'd probably just have the lawyers take care of it. But they can absolutely sue. I don't know how many thousands of dollars they can get out of that, but they can sue him. Can't do that. So, whatever. Well, what do you Conan's take on this? Mm-hmm. What'd you think? Was I accurate there?
I just think, but they don't understand that where you're the heat of the moment, you do stuff like that, Right. And so I had a guy in Tijuana that I had told him, do not engage with the fans. And he engaged with them and he got arrested and he actually wanted me to help him. I said, no, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah, I told you.
And so they went and the same thing happened. They released him, but just embarrassment. He didn't get paid that day.
He got
going through all that. And then I told him afterwards, I told you not to do it, but you did it, right? I know you were heat of the moment. I got you. Okay. Was it worth everything you just went through? And he goes, no. I go, there's your answer, bro. Right. And I never had another problem with him. And he was a guy that was always either getting into the fights or trying to start fights. And after that, he learned his lesson. And the thing is, the wrestler doesn't understand that something like that could get big. Maybe it won't, but it could get big.
Let me give you a perfect example. Okay. We love MJF as a performer. Everybody does. He's a great performer, right?
Right.
But he is coming across as kind of like a little bit uncontrollable. Does whatever he wants to do. Says whatever he wants to say on the mic. Throws drinks. It's like, dude, you need a boss that needs to be a boss here and rein this kid in and say, hey, dude, you're not, you're doing stuff you can't do. And like needs to like lay down the law with him. It's like, bro, you got to stop doing this. You got, seriously. He looks like a guy that just thinks like he can do whatever he wants to do. Would you agree with that? Is that how it's coming across?
Yeah, it's almost kind of like an old school Brian Pillman, loose cannon gimmick, kind of
right.
modernized.
If you were the boss there, you would bring him in the room and say, dude, you got to tone this down. It's like, I'm the boss. Like, hey, cut, watch your language on the mic. Stuff and you can't be assaulting fans and throwing fans and ripping their signs up. You just can't do that, So
yeah. Well, let me just tell you what I thought about this. I felt all the people that were getting upset is that over the top outrage and fake outrage, and now a term that Chris Rock just used in his concert, which you saw live and put over, and which is a term we use all the time, also selective outrage.
Right.
And I also love the little bit that he did on trigger warnings, coincides with what we've been saying. But anyways, I saw clips of the scrum after he did the match. First of all, I kept eating pickles. Did you see that?
No,
Yes.
I didn't see any of that. I saw a clip of the scrum where he was yelling at Alvarez and stuff, everything. But I don't.
All right. Well, I saw this like compilation, and he was eating pickles and putting them over, and I was thinking to myself,
Putting the pickles over?
Yeah. Was he doing? Yeah. Like, oh, this is
a great dill pickle. Yeah.
And I was like, is he doing product placement and getting paid? Because if that, that's brilliant. And is this a new thing, eating during scrums? First CM Punk with the baked goods, and now this?
Yeah, I think it was a reference to Punk, or maybe even taking a shot at him kind of thing. Or
maybe, could be. And, bro, somebody should have – I hope somebody goes up to that scrum one day when they do it in L.A. smoking a blunt, because it is legal. Anyway, I like how in the scrum somebody asked MJF, I did pop for this. He goes, why did you throw the drink on the kid? And he goes, the kid looked like he needed a drink.
Yeah, he looked thirsty.
And then of course the same guy, he's like, hey Tony, what is AEW going to do about this? Well, I had a stern talk with MJF, and it was not a stern talk, Disco. He had a stern talk with MJF, just so you know. And then he goes, and we talked to Tyler, or whatever the kid's name was. Titus. And he was a real pro about it, and he'll be coming more to more matches in the future. And it was funny because MJF is rolling his eyes like, this is a bunch of... But really, in a way, what is Tony supposed to do? He's out there basically for damage control. You know what I'm saying? Hey. I love watching Tony get uncomfortable in these scrums, because MJF, bro, he was just going off. It was hilarious. Yo, what up? This is Conan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!